We want to start right now with some breaking news. For the first time in 8 years, the state of Arizona has executed an inmate, convicted killer Clarence Dixon. Dixon was put to death less than 2 hours ago by lethal injection. Back in 1978, Dixon killed Deana Bowdoin, who was a student at ASU.
That 1978 murder went unsolved for decades. Today, the ultimate punishment was given out for that crime.
12 News anchor Scott McDonald is live in Florence at the state prison. And Scott, there were many attempts to block this execution from happening.
Tram, Emily, that's right. The defense team for Dixon filed many appeals. They claim that Dixon was mentally unfit to be executed. Now, about a half an hour out from the actual execution, the U.S. Supreme Court denied a request for a stay of the execution. So I want to give you a timeline of the events that played out according to folks who were there. 10:19 a.m., the lethal drugs were administered. At 10:30, the warden said execution complete. So that's about 11 minutes from injection to sedation to death. We're told that he gasped when it looked like he went to sleep. That's according to witnesses who were inside the prison. Now, the family of Deana Bowdoin provided a childhood family picture of Deana with her mom and her sister Leslie. Back in 1978, Deana was getting ready to graduate from ASU. She was found brutally murdered and raped inside her Tempe apartment. Now, it wasn't until DNA technology, 25 years later, detectives found that link to Clarence Dixon. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich asked the courts to issue Dixon's execution warrant. After that sentence was carried out today, the victim's sister, Leslie, spoke.
1 in 17 octillion. The results of the recent DNA test reporting the likelihood that Deana's murderer was anyone other than this inmate. Octillion has 27 zeros, by the way. 43 and 20. The number of hearings I have attended over 20 years since indictment. 21, 23, 45, and 46. The ages when Deana's, and my parents' lives were either taken or irreparably changed due to this inmate's choices and actions. But I have to honor and thank my husband, Mick, who I just lost 12 days ago, for his support and love over all these years. I believe that now he's reunited with my parents and with Deana, and he met Deana when she was 14 years old.
So this is the first execution since the botched attempt of Joseph Wood. Now, it took over a dozen doses of the lethal injection drug and almost 2 hours for him to die. So you heard that soundbite there from Deana's sister, Leslie. Just a heartbreaking amount of loss for that woman. Now, there has been questions about the lethal injection drug that was to be used. The Department of Corrections actually went back and mixed up a new batch of that drug and then tested it for its potency. Now, we're going to have much more on this coming up later on today. I just talked with Bram. He was inside that media briefing. He'll have more on this coming up today on First at 4. But for now, reporting live in Florence, Scott McDonald, 12 News.
And we understand even up until the very end, Dixon seemed defiant towards the legal process and others who were in that room. Scott, thank you for that report. Last night, several local anti-death penalty organizations held a vigil outside the state capitol, calling the execution a, quote, brutal practice that allows the government to determine who lives and dies. An anti-death penalty advocacy group also showed up outside of the state prison today.
And we'll continue to cover the execution of Clarence Dixon throughout the day here on 12 News. Also, be sure to download the free 12 News app to stay up to date on this story and many more.